All right, so we are going to get started. We are recording, so just mute your line if you need to. What we are going to do is just talk more about things that can really grow your Avon business, and this is talking about massive action. So massive action is how Tracy and I will get $1,000 or more in sales, and how we will recruit 2 to 3 people and sometimes 6 and 7 people in one campaign. So I have a few things that I want to share with y'all on what you can do. And some of this stuff I've been going over with y'all anyway, but it really helps y'all to learn more of what we're doing. And this is something that we've pretty much done the whole time we've been in Avon. We just didn't really have it all wrote down like we do now. So want to just let y'all know what it is so y'all can see. So if y'all remember, I spoke about the income producing activities. So this is what you want to pull and you want to have. When you are growing your Avon business, you really want to think about how much you want to make, what do you want to do with your business, and where do you want it to grow and go. So a little bit about me, because I know we have a couple new people on the video. So I am Arlena Gafford, and I've been with Avon come April 16th, 10 years. So very excited about that. Happy to say 10. So the only thing I hate is that they don't do the 10-year plates anymore. But that's okay. So I will probably get me like a 10-year anniversary shirt or something. I'll do something big for that. And so I'm so excited about that. And I have been doing this full time without another job for the last 2 years, and really off and on for the last 6, just depending on what has happened in my life. But really working on making sure that it is full time, career money, not having to clock in because I don't want a boss. So really working on that. So what I'm going to show y'all is what I do and what I did in the beginning to really grow my business. So in the beginning, I didn't really know a whole lot of what to do, but I knew what selling something was. And I didn't know it was called network marketing or direct sales. I just knew you sold stuff. So I was in other companies and played with the kid and bought a few things, but never really did a whole lot of parties or facials or sold a whole lot of anything. So what I really did in return was I really worked on, in this business, I went to the meetings and really dived into it. So it's different. With us, we have our brochures. So it's really different than other companies. But this is what we have to really focus on. And this is your money right here. I know we are online, but this is still your money when you're out and about, whether you convert them to online customers or convert them into representatives. This is what you start with your customers, with the people that you come in contact with. So one of my massive action tips is to buy a lot of these, and not just buy them, but pass them out. So when you are looking at what do you want to do in your business and you want to see huge results, you're not in this to make just $100. So this is strictly for people who want to make that $1,000 a month or more. And you can do it with sales, you can do it with leadership, or you can do it with both. So whichever way you want to go, okay? So this is massive action. I'm going to just tell y'all straight up what I did in my first year, how I sold over $20,000. I made Honor Society. I did not make the first level of sales. I went for the second level in the sales program, and that was over $20,000. And how I did it was a lot of things. So I'm going to go through some of the things with y'all. And then I will, like I said, put this on my YouTube channel. It will be on Facebook with this video, but I will also create a blog with it too. So y'all will have everything. So take notes, really think about what y'all want to do, but I'm going to share with y'all what I did in my first year. Okay. So very important to know that this is what I did. So my first year, I bought more than 100 books a campaign. There were times that I was buying 500 books a campaign because I did events. So I went tossing. I went and set up at the Riverfest up in Gaston because they were out. And I knew what Riverfest was, and I had set up a table before in another company. But again, I didn't do a whole lot. I just set up the table, and that's all I did. So in my first year, I bought anywhere from 100 to 500 books every campaign. With a couple campaigns, I bought 1,000 books. Because again, I wasn't going, at first I thought I want to make just a couple $100s, but I knew I wanted to sell a lot. So I really pushed on what did I want to do in my business. I knew I wanted to sell a lot too. So I knew that I needed to have more books to do that with. And I heard about this thing called tossing. And that's just simply where you put this book in one of the What's New bag or clear literature bags, and you can put a rubber band around it, however you want to do it. You can even put a rubber band around it like this and toss it in the driveway just like a newspaper. And I would literally do that at least once a month. And at first I thought that was crazy. So I thought, oh my gosh, there's no way I'm throwing something in someone's driveway. I thought that's just a waste of money. But I heard other people have success with it, even though I heard in our area they weren't having that much success. But for me, I did. I will tell y'all to this day, I still have customers who I tossed to 10 years ago or 8 years ago or 5 years ago. So this is what I did. I would toss brochures, but I would toss a lot of the old brochures. So maybe this was campaign 6, but it's campaign 8 or 9 right now. So then I would toss these. So that's one thing. So I ordered a lot of books and I went tossing and I did a lot of events. Riverfest was my first one. I was not scared to buy a bunch of bug guard and go on a sale. I did learn a few tips from making a few mistakes. So unless you're going to be very active in selling your products, you really don't want to have a lot of products right there. Not as much as I had, but then again, I was still new and I was learning, and I was very sit back, someone come talk to me in the other companies that I was in. But Avon, I was still kind of that way at the beginning, but then I slowly got into, I stayed in front of my table. Most events, I always stayed in front of my table. I never sat down. I had a chair if I needed it or someone else needed it, but I always sat back because I wanted that chair always sat back because I wanted to be out in front. So I had my clipboard with the drawing slips, and that's what I did. So books, events, tossing. Now, here's the other thing, because I know some of y'all work or have kids. I was working too, and Tracy can tell y'all, sometimes she would come to Arby's and pick up things from me or whatever she needed while I was at work. I still work my business. Now, I was working 5 to 1, college full time. I have 2 kids. I had a husband back then, so y'all know that's really busy. But that did not stop me and, oh, well, I work too much, or there's no time in working my business. I would get off at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I would take 10 or 20 books and I would go pass them out. And I didn't do it every single day because, of course, you have things that you have to do. But what I did was I made sure that I was consistently every week getting names and numbers and getting my books in front of people. So I would get off and I would go pass out 20 books. If they said no, I remember one day in particular, everybody said no to me. It didn't matter what I said to them, how I said it. They kept saying no, no, no. So I said, okay, I'm done. But the next day I went back out. And I went and started talking to people again, and I had yes, 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 yes. So remember, you got to have your no's to get to your yeses. It's not the end of the world, even though sometimes we think it is, but know that you can do that. So when you are passing out your books, it's very crucial in getting their contact information, but it's also okay to leave a trail of books everywhere you go. So everywhere I went, gas stations or the doctor's office next to them, I would walk into different places and just simply say, hey, I'm an Avon representative. I have some new brochures. Would y'all like any? Or do y'all have an Avon rep? I didn't start out with asking them to join because I didn't know how, and I didn't know that was one of the ways to do it. So I did not start out that way. My first thing was, do you have an Avon representative? Do you have an Avon lady? I even have my nickname on youravon.com as the Avon lady. I thought that was just the coolest thing ever. So that was my first thing that I strived for, was to be the Avon lady. So this is what I did. So I would go around and I would be like, hey, Heather, I am Arlena with Avon. Do you have an Avon representative or an Avon lady? And I would give her the book. And sometimes I would kind of bridge into, would you like to join or make some money? But a lot of times I didn't, because I didn't know how. And then I started learning about recruiting flyers and putting them in the book. So going to the meetings really helped me, because I learned how to, even though I was scared to death of asking them to join, I would have that on the brochure for them. So that's one thing that I did. So massive action is really doing a lot of one activity, or a lot of activities that will move your business forward. So like the 500 books, I would toss 100 brochures. I would go put 100 brochures in customers' hands, because in my first year, I went from having a $60-something order in my first campaign to actually having $1,000 orders by the time I hit Christmas. I started in April, and our calendar year was so crazy back then. It went from April until March. So I started in April, and the first campaign that fiscal year started for Avon. And by the time we hit Christmas, not even all the way to like a whole year like we have now, when Christmas rolls around, I was already selling $1,000. And that's because I would buy the brochures. I would go out and pass out the brochures massively. I would do events. I would toss. I would leave a trail. Any gas station that said yes, I would go put 5 books on their counter, and then I would go back every other week or every week, whatever my schedule was. Every customer would always get a brochure and always get a phone call. We didn't have text. I didn't use the email as much because that just wasn't my thing. I would simply sit down and I would call them. And my kids know, and I have something that I want to share with y'all, and maybe, okay, I didn't lose it. This is just one that's showing you that I would write down who I followed up with, and did they answer the phone? Did I leave a message? Did I take an order? Even if they were new. So let's say Brandy was a new customer, I would just simply call, and if Brandy didn't answer the phone, of course you ask for the customer, and I would just say, hey Brandy, this is Arlena with Avon. I met you at Riverfest this past weekend, and I just wanted to see if there was anything that you would like to order. My order goes in tomorrow night. That's it. Or it goes in Wednesday night, because my orders were due on a Wednesday back then. And it was very simple. I didn't push anything on them. I didn't push a product. They put whatever's on the back cover, we're supposed to upsell. So I never upsell anything to anybody. I would just simply ask Brandy if she had anything that she wanted to order or that she needed. And if she said yes, then I would take the order and thank her and let her know that it would come back the next week. And then, okay, baby, just go hit pause. I would let them know that I would deliver it the following week. Or if they didn't have a chance to look at the book, I had a lot of those, I would say, oh, it's okay, Brandy. How about I call you back later in a couple hours, or I'll call you tomorrow. Will that work? And sometimes they would say, oh, well, I have things turned down. They will. They'll turn the page and they won't say the maximum crack kill cream that's on sale for $2.99, or they would want whatever, and they would be like, hold on just a second, let me go get my book, and they would have something that they wanted to order. So you really have to reach out to them. Do not think that you are bothering them, because at the end of the day, I promise you, if you will call those 100 people, or how many ever numbers that you have that you gave a book to, you will see a third of them will order. Now, in your first 2 campaigns, it might take a little bit to get that built up, especially new people, because they want to make sure that you're staying around. There are Avon representatives who come in and then they go out. They will come in and then they will go out. Oh, they'll take the order and then they won't deliver it. So you really have to prove yourself to that customer. I have customers who in this past year has had other Avon representatives try to get them and steal them from me. I don't know who they are, and that's fine, but the customers are loyal to me. Why? Because I have established myself, and they know when my orders due, when I'm a deliver. Usually today's delivery day, so they know something's up if I don't go deliver today. So you really have to present yourself and really think about how you want to present yourself. Up until the last few months, going more online, I always had products with me, samples. We started doing sample packs about 5 years ago. Learning that from some of the top leaders, having samples inside, having a recruiting flyer, recruiting booklet, whatever. So always had something inside for them. And I would pass it out to my customers. Easter is coming up. So Easter, oh my gosh, there are so many things up until maybe this last year, because I have worked more with my team than I have with my customers. Up until this last year, every holiday I would do a holiday theme. So Easter's coming up, I would have Easter baskets or goodie bags. So I would create little goodie bags. I would create little chocolate festival where I'm going to set up on April 1st will be Easter theme. So we will have the whole table decked out for Easter. Set up at consignment shops, and I would have it decked out for Halloween or Christmas, whatever it was close to that day that I was setting up or that week. So I really went out because I wanted them to think about me for that holiday. I wanted them to think about that they could buy something or, whatever. Or Avon has different decorations. Like, oh my gosh, the Avon Living book we didn't have back then, but we have all kinds of cute things, even just in the regular brochure for their household. So we would have, I would buy different things. Like we've had an Easter egg tray and an Easter egg display that will hold Easter eggs. So I would put Easter eggs around it for a display to show them that they could decorate their house. We have had Easter bunnies and little duckies that dance and sing, and so I would have batteries in them so they can play with on their at my table. Kids love that stuff. You want anything that you can draw them in. Tracy, she actually wasn't paying attention to the Avon booth, and she didn't even really realize what she was doing, but I had kids' grab bags there, and Josie knew what she was doing. So her youngest wanted a little girl's grab bag, and back then I was selling them for $2, and I had just a whole little section all for kids too. I mean, you want to draw them in because their mamas are going to follow. So drew her in. We talked to her. Didn't really push her about signing up, doing a whole lot. Just, hey, we've got an Avon drawing. Once you fill it out, maybe you'll win. So she did not win the drawing, but on that Monday or Tuesday, and this is very crucial, when you do an event on a Friday and Saturday, Monday and Tuesday need to be your follow-up days. You don't need to wait later on. Monday and Tuesday, you need to go. I need to follow up with everybody. Get their orders. If they want to join, you need to be signing them up. If they took a trike kit, you want to see how they're doing with their trike kit, set an appointment to sign them up. I mean, you want to be on top of them quick. So on that Monday or Tuesday, I had called Tracy, and she lives an hour away from me again, but she lived an hour away from me then. And so she really wanted to buy the products, but how she got at my table was because of the kids' grab bags. Josie wanted a little girl's grab bag. So you can do grab bags with like lotions and nail polish and lip balms. Lip balms will melt in the summer, so just kind of watch that. But you can do different things. And we had the body paints. Hope we get those back again. They were really easy and quick and to do little kids grab bags. And I would always buy, again, toys, whatever was the theme of that holiday. So spring and summer, I will have water guns and bubble baths let's see, no, bubble baths, bubbles and the little grab bags for the kids, along with something out of the Avon book. So maybe just a lip balm or a hand lotion or a nail polish for, depending on girls or boys. And I would always have girls grab bags and boys grab bags. So that's one way that you can draw people to your table. But this is what I did, and this is how I really grew. Try kits. So very simple. Easy peasy, okay? So this is what you want to have at your tables. You want to have books. You want to have trot kits. You want to have drawing slips. You want to have a few products, not a lot. I will tell you the tables that got the most interaction for me, and I want to go back to that because I've been in for 10 years and have done a bunch of things. The tables that have gotten the most interaction for me are the tables that I had the books, the trot kits, the giveaway basket, the drawing slips, and then the only thing I had on the table to sell was lip gloss, nail polish, and I have a cute little nail polish stand that spins, and kids grab bags. That's it. Those got the most interaction than any other table I have ever done. Now, I have added bug guard because, of course, bug guard is a huge thing, and we need it down here in the South, and the Skin So Soft bath oil is a big thing. But past that, I didn't really put anything else on my table besides, again, the kids' little like Easter bunny or whatever we had that sung, dance, and got kids to the table. Even when the parents said, "Oh, no, don't touch that," I'm like, "Oh, it's okay. It's there. They can play with it for a minute. That's fine. That's what it was there for." I know it's kind of going crazy on TJ's Kindle, so I am on Zoom, so y'all can always go to Zoom if it cuts off. But I always went to really make sure my tables are very easy and quick, and just let the kids, they could see what was on my table. And my whole thing was not to sell $1,000 at my table, but my whole thing was to, what am I going to do after the event? So I wanted to pass out as many books as possible, and I wanted to pass out as many trot kits as possible, because and then get the drawing names. So I wanted everybody possible to enter my drawing, and then after the event, I could go back and talk to them one-on-one over the phone and see what they wanted. So that's a lot, I know. I always looked at the What's New books. I always looked at what I could offer my customers. So definitely I was looking at that. Could I give them a freebie for ordering more, because it helped my award sales go up, and I made more money, and then they got something free for buying from me. So I always try to set myself apart from the other Avon representatives that was around me. So that's one thing that you really want to do. You want to set yourself apart, and the more you do that, and the more that you are consistent and sincere with your customers, they're not going to go anywhere, and they're going to stay with you. They're going to want to be your Avon customer and not someone else's. So that's really what you want to think about. So we have just a couple more minutes. I didn't want it to be too long, because when I'm fixing to take some medicine, I really want to go ahead and get that in my system, because the pain is still here. So we're going to do that. But I really wanted to just let y'all know what was going on, and let y'all see that you can do this Avon business in a massive action that really works for you, that can really help you grow your business, but not have it just mediocre if that's not what you're wanting. So if you're really wanting to make a lot of money, and you're not wanting to make just a little bit, then you really want to think about activities that you can do on a bigger scale. So passing out a ton of more books. So the rep next to you might only be passing out 20 books, but you want to pass out 100 to 200 or 500. Or maybe you don't do just one event a year. Maybe you do like 5 events a month, and you get 100 contacts where that other representative is only getting 5 new contacts a month. So there's things that you can do to really grow your business, but not have it where it's just bringing in a little bit of money. So this is a lot of the things that I did. The only other thing that I would tell you that I did not realize in the beginning is I would have started recruiting from the get-go more than selling, because the customers are going to come. So I would have said, I would have just started something simple like, hey, I'm Arlena. I just want to see if you had an Avon representative, and hand them the book. And I always try to have one of the new books, so maybe they haven't seen it yet. But ask them if they have an Avon representative or an Avon lady. And then just something very simple that's not putting them on the spot, but do you know anybody who would like to make some extra money? And if they do, then they're going to say them. But I didn't know some of the lingo at first, so I was still kind of new. But I did get my first recruit from my first event. So I started leadership from the first time I set up an Avon table. So that will really tell you, because again, that Friday and Saturday was the Avon table, but on Monday and Tuesday, I was following up with everybody that has stopped at my table, and I got my first recruit. So really wanted to just share that with y'all so y'all can know how you can really work your business and make it big, and have it where you can make more money in your business than just a little bit. So we're going to try to do this once a month with passive action tips that I have done in the past that I know that works, and I want to come out and share with y'all what it is. So hope this helps y'all. Like this video, share it with your team, go back and watch it more and more. Really think about what you want to do with your business and how you can grow it to massive action as well. So y'all have a good night and enjoy the rest of the night. And I will definitely talk to y'all later. Thank you for coming, and be blessed, and see y'all later. Bye-bye.